So this is our last qualifier, folks, and it's a doozy. As Steven Seagal and Daryl Dixon meet in the cage of hell to find out who is the better man, and also to see who is going to be going on in our tournament. Perhaps one of them will be a Hall of Fame champion, and the other one will not. To all of our viewers, please do not riot if Daryl Dixon doesn't win. It's not my fault. As always, these are not controlled by us at all, as I think you just saw. Completely randomized, and we have no control over the outcomes. So, you know, the better man win, best man win, I guess, as Dixon and the original Captain Crunch are about to duke it out. And Dixon starts off a right hand to Steven Seagal. And a bulldog takedown. Of course, Daryl Dixon, part of the F4L also. That's kind of cool. We got two guys representing us in this tournament, as Chuck Norris and Daryl Dixon, both proud members of the F4L. As Seagal sent into the corner. And Dixon. Oh, nice back suplex by Daryl Dixon. The redneck from down under. And sent off the ropes. And Dixon sends them all over the world. Just brings them down. Daryl Dixon is one of the newer raised badasses of TV. We saw earlier that, you know, the other claim to fame, Jax Teller, was not enough for Chuck Norris. Is Daryl Dixon a better person? Is Daryl Dixon tougher than that of Steven Seagal? I guess we'll find out. As the original Captain Crunch himself, Steven Seagal, he begs to differ. And down goes Dixon. And Dixon reverses. It's pretty even, I'd say. They're a standoff right there. I don't know. Dixon probably shouldn't have waited right there. Probably, that little delay could have cost him. As Seagal buries the elbows into the gut of, you know, Jax Teller. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Daryl Dixon. And there's a nice snap suplex by Steven Seagal. In case you guys were wondering why I refer to Steven Seagal as Captain Crunch, well, it's quite obvious and kind of, you know, it's kind of a childhood memory, really. You know, growing up in the schoolyard and in the 80s when Steven Seagal was mostly known for all of his movies, you would always hear the sounds of snap, crackling, and popping of the people in which that he used to fight with in the movies and such. So me and my buddies and everyone else I knew referred to him as Captain Crunch, since you always heard it at some point during all of his movies. As this thing is spilled out into the outside, as Daryl and Steven exchanging blows as Dixon throws him back into the ring. Referee starts the count. This again is the first time we've had Seagal and Dixon meet up in the ring. And again, folks, the person here will go on. And also, I want to let you guys know, after this match, we're going to show you the standings where we're at, like we did for our tag team tournament. I think you guys, you know, should see where everything's going with it. So that's cool, where we've come so far. And what we got next? Oh, no. Daryl Dixon borrowed my deep-fried Oreo driver, which is very nice of him, mind you, on Steven Seagal, and that could put it in right there. I can tell you, I've used the deep-fried Oreo driver multiple times, and I can tell you not many people get up after. And if they do, it's a rare occasion. Of course, that's regular people, and Steven Seagal is not a regular person. He is Steven Seagal. I don't care what anybody tells you or anybody says. I think Steven Seagal is probably still, bar none, one of the toughest men alive, as he takes down Dixon with kicks and punches and everything else as only he can. Dixon pulls himself up into the corner, and Seagal let him know that probably wasn't a good idea. Burying his shoulder into the gut, kick to the back, and Chuck Norris, it's Seagal by the throat, choke slam. Steven Seagal, master of Aikido, the originator of Aikido and the, Grand Master of all Aikido, and who knows what else. In our show here, folks, we all started because, we wanted to answer the questions, who's tougher than who, and of course, Seagal and Norris, Lee, and all those guys were all part of our original, broadcast when we first started doing the show many, many years ago, as we are credited for being the ones who originated this, having the organized wrestling matches, shows like this for you guys, rather than just a bunch of meaningless melees, or what we call melees, you guys call them rumbles or whatever. But, we just feel like, you guys deserve more of a show and more of a respect factor, and we wanted to find out who's tougher than who, and that's kind of how this whole show started years ago. Here we are years later, and we've built a great audience. We've had a lot of fan base all over the world. I don't want you guys to confuse numbers when you look at our YouTube page, but feel free, again, if you guys watch this, like it or whatever. If you don't like it, say what you don't like about it, and tell us a match you guys want to see, because, that's ultimately why and how we do these shows, is by what you guys want for the matches. The other day we did a Dream Masters Classic Edition, and we actually took like 3 or 4 of the matches, of the top matches you guys wanted to see, and we gave them to you. In this environment, we don't go by these, ridiculous computer animated, tail of the tape things, because that's just a waste of time for everybody. Just put them in a ring and have them fight. Plain and simple. Better man will be the one who wins. That's the way we look at it. And I know there are shows out there that do similar things, but we are experts at it. That's why we're the Dream Masters. And there you go. As a kick to the back of Daryl Dixon by Steven Seagal, showing the toughness of both of these guys. And Dixon, power bomb to Seagal. Seagal's feeling that on his back, I'll tell you that much. Granted, Seagal looks to be in great shape. Dixon's also in great shape. I'll tell you also, I think Dixon also has the youth advantage on his side. However, here's a question for you. Does youth advantage give away from life experience? Because, Steven Seagal has been around the block quite a long time, and he's, had a lot of faces and a lot of fights over his years and whatnot. So the question, I guess, would be is where Steven Seagal has, been around the block so many times, is multiple experienced in everything. Does he have an advantage type of thing over someone young like Daryl Dixon, who is the new up-and-coming badass, where Seagal is one who invented it, and Seagal has been busted open courtesy of the young lion, Daryl Dixon. And the redneck from down under is ready, is waiting to see if Seagal is going to continue, or is he moving forward? If I'm Daryl Dixon, I know I'm praying that he's not, but he gets up again, and Dixon kicks him in the chest. Seagal is double tough, folks. Triple's tough. He's been fighting and brawling for years. Dixon, of course. And Seagal now up at an 8 count. Dixon again kick to the chest. Maybe trying to stop the heart of Seagal. Maybe that's the answer. In our show over the years, folks, we've answered some of the biggest questions ever. As far as who's tougher. We've done a lot of time before anybody else has. Up to 9. And there's 10. How about that, folks? The young lion and the redneck from down under, Daryl Dixon. I would consider this an upset, personally. Good thing he's a friend of mine, huh? And the redneck from down under himself, Daryl Dixon. Look at this. Seagal was all over the guy. But Dixon never gave up. Had the intestinal fortitude. Had the toughness factor. And he came strong hard into this match, folks. But Seagal really gave him a run for his money. But in the end, I don't know, maybe the youth advantage came to help in this occasion. Or maybe just, you know, Daryl wanted it more. I don't know. Seagal was busted open right here, courtesy of Daryl Dixon. And in the end, it is over. Here you have, folks. And Daryl Dixon, the redneck from down under. Let's get the official verdict. Well, there you go, folks. The redneck from down under is moving forward in the tournament. So what we're going to do right now, folks, is right after Daryl's done celebrating, we're going to go look at the standings in the tournament to see what's where. You can see kind of where we've come so far in this tournament and what we got left. And the semifinals are next. Who's excited? I know I am. All right, let's take a peek. I'm going to take a look at these standings here, folks, and see what's what. All right, well, here's your standings. So with a victory, Statham defeated Captain America, and Norris defeated Jax Teller. Oh, boy. Dixon defeated Seagal, as you just saw, and Juggernaut, of course, who's been laying it right since the beginning, defeated Rambo. So what we got right now is these two right here. We got Statham and Norris, Dixon and Juggernaut. So seeing how Juggernaut has been waiting around for so long, I understand that, you know, Daryl's had some, you know, just got out of a hell of a match, but hey, them the breaks, kids. Let's get it going. All right, folks, stick around. Coming at ya.